But first, for over 2 years, Michael Jackson's been trying to live down those horrible allegations of child abuse. He probably thought he'd done that with the release of his new album and recent TV interview. But as Star Jones reports, there are accusations that continue to linger against Jackson. These from former employees who say they were fired because they knew too much.
2 years ago, the eyes of the world focused on a 13-year-old boy who accused Michael Jackson of molesting him. Jackson vehemently denied any wrongdoing.
Don't treat me like a criminal, because I am innocent.
Now Michael Jackson is trying to sculpt a new image for himself. The release of his latest CD, History, marks the next big step in the King of Pop's efforts to put the ugly specter of the child molestation allegations behind him forever.
I could never harm a child or anyone. It's not in my heart. It's not who I am.
When we get to court in front of a jury, we'll be able to prove that Michael Jackson is, in fact, a child molester.
But Ted Matthews says the issue is about to heat up all over again. He's the attorney for 5 men who used to be security guards for Michael Jackson. The guards have filed a lawsuit claiming they were wrongfully fired from their jobs, in part because some of them say they were witnesses to Michael Jackson having what they call questionable relations with young boys. Don Stark worked for Michael Jackson for over 5 years.
Well, for a grown man of my age, I think me and Michael are 36 to this day, and to hang out, to spend the better part of the evening with a young boy in his presence alone, that is questionable, that is inappropriate.
Although the guards filed their lawsuit against Jackson nearly 2 years ago, their day in court is just now approaching. With one legal issue still pending, the trial could begin by the end of the summer. Bad news for superstar Michael, who wants his fans to forget about the child molestation accusations. One of the linchpins of the security guard's case involves Michael Jackson allegedly telephoning orders to have a photo of a young boy destroyed. Leroy Thomas says he took the phone call.
He told me to open the door, I did. He asked me to go inside, which I did. And he asked me to get a picture, which was in the bathroom. And
What kind of picture?
it was a Polaroid. So it was of a kid, a young kid.
How was the young kid dressed?
He wasn't dressed.
He was nude.
He was nude.
How old was the child, in your opinion?
I would have to say pretty young. I'm sure he's not over 15, he's less.
You're saying Michael Jackson asked you specifically to go up into a bathroom, get a Polaroid snapshot of a nude, pubescent boy, and do what with it?
And destroyed.
What did you do?
I did a Xerox.
This, along with similar claims of questionable behavior, is the foundation of the lawsuit by the guards. But the issue is what the guards actually saw. Fred, did you ever see Michael Jackson exhibiting inappropriate behavior to a child?
No.
Don, did you ever witness Michael Jackson exhibiting inappropriate behavior with a child?
No, not personally, no.
But attorney Ted Matthews claims he holds a wild card.
We have another guard in this case who actually saw touching. We have a staff member who saw touching an inappropriate dress.
We requested interviews with both of these witnesses, and our requests were denied. Michael Jackson has always denied any wrongdoing with any children, and in his initial response to this lawsuit, he reiterated his position. Jackson's attorney in the case is O.J. Simpson Dream Team member Carl Douglas.
Oh, in America, anyone has a right to file a lawsuit. The difficulty will come in they're trying to prove it.
All that remains now, before there is another public airing of molestation allegations, is a legal decision. When the security guards were fired, they signed a waiver saying they would never sue Michael Jackson or his companies. But the guards now claim these waivers are invalid because they were signed under duress. Why did you sign the document?
My bills were due, and I didn't have any money, and I needed my money.
And were you told, Fred, if you don't sign this paper, you don't get a check?
That's correct.
So now the fate of the lawsuit and the prospect of another smearing of Michael Jackson's image lies in the hands of a California judge. These days, days, Michael says he's the victim. His wallet took a hit to end the lawsuit his 13-year-old accuser brought against him. It has been widely reported that Jackson paid a whopping $15 million to settle with the boy out of court. Recently, Jackson has said he settled to stop the matter from being in the press every day.
We got together again with my advisors, and they advised me to resolve the case.
For the record, there have never been any criminal charges filed against Jackson. But that fact doesn't deter Ted Matthews from predicting victory for his clients. He says Michael Jackson should have been prosecuted.
If it were anybody other than Michael Jackson, they would have been arrested and thrown in jail the day after the child's allegations came out.
Michael Jackson has tried hard to put this child molestation issue behind him, but it just doesn't seem to go away. It must be enough to make the superstar scream.
Now, a judge is expected to rule on the validity of those waivers sometime this month.
And coming up next in